Okay, this is three Pacioretty videos. Technically, Pacioretty's in a day, in less than, what, 12 hours? 13, 14 hours? Max Pacioretty has signed a 4-year, $7 million a year extension with Vegas. That's reasonable. And it's reasonable based on him returning to his form of 2 years ago. And this is the big debate we're having is what player is Pacioretty now? Is he the 17 goal scorer that limped through last season? Or is he the 30 goal scorer he was almost every year before that? Personally, I think he'll be the 30 goal scorer that he was because he's only 29. We're talking about his age as if he's old and he's all done and finished and it's all over, it's all forgotten, forget about it, he's done. And I don't understand that part of the conversation at all. And there's it's not just Montreal fans saying it either. So I'm not sure what people are talking about exactly here, other than it's kind of weird, just a little bit, because you're trading for a guy who was a team captain for the Habs, and when he was named team captain in 2015, it was the players that voted him team captain. It was a vote, and I think that's a fantastic way to name a team captain, is to have the players say, "Here's the guy we view as our leader, as the guy who's our best voice in the locker room." Adding that to your team, even if he only adds the 20-25 goals, let's just say he doesn't get back to 30, having that kind of leadership role is important, because remember, one of the prevailing stories with Vegas over the last year has been, well, who's their leader? Is it Marchessault, Riley Smith? It's probably Fleury. Well, with Patches there, Fleury can just play goal, and some of that leadership gets taken up. So you'll have England on the blue line and Pacioretty up front. Those are your leaders, and then it goes out from there. And it's funny because, again, last summer the whole conversation was, well, Vegas is going to stink. What's Vegas doing? Vegas didn't take these good players. They took these crappy players. This is stupid. They're going to be the worst team in the league. George McPhee doesn't know what he's doing. Halfway through the season, it became, well, the league rigged it so that Vegas gets a really good team. This is just, or the other half was, well, they did well in the first half of the season. They're going to stink in the second half. They're nothing. Then the playoffs roll around and it's like, yeah, well, now the clock's going to strike midnight. They're not going to be any good. They win the Western Conference, and the conversation becomes, well, yeah, but the Western Conference sucked. There weren't any good teams there. Winnipeg wasn't any good, even though Winnipeg was one of the best teams in the league, but that doesn't matter. And then, Washington beats them and go, ha, see, we knew the whole time they were an expansion team. They aren't any good. And they're going to suck next year. So they go out and they lose Neal and they lose Perron and they pick up Stastny. And now they pick up Pacioretty. And the conversation is, well, they're mortgaging their future. Players are always going to want to play in Vegas. This is the other side of the argument. I think Pacioretty, as an unrestricted free agent next summer, makes more than $7 million. And I say that because I think he will score enough goals this year to warrant it. And when you look at guys who are getting $10, $11 million, this is a new era where $7 million isn't what $7 million was 5-6 years ago. And it puts Vegas in an excellent position. It's not like Vegas is going to be what Buffalo was at one point or Winnipeg was years and years ago, where it's going to be perceived as a location players don't want to play in. You're never going to hear players saying, well, I definitely don't want to go to Vegas. I'll go anywhere except Vegas. So it's always going to be a popular destination for free agents. I can't see them being on a no-trade list. I can't see it. And as a Canuck fan, I know the Canucks have been on no-trade lists for decades, and I've totally understood, and I've never held it against a player for having Vancouver on a no-trade list. But I have, I like this trade. I like this signing. This was apparently agreed to before the trade, so they're announcing it this morning. They've already photoshopped up on the Twitter feed of the Vegas Golden Knights. They've already photoshopped up Pacioretty in a Vegas Golden Knights jersey playing hockey, same as Toronto fans and media did with Tavares after July 1st. And it's kind of fun because now we're going into training camp in a few days, and Pacioretty will remain with Vegas for the next 4 years. And that's the key thing. It's not a rental. So you can't just look at this now and say, well, it's a rental. Not now, it isn't. Now they got a player that they're going to have in their lineup this coming season and 4 years after. So at the time the deal expires, he'll be 34. I don't see a whole lot of risk in this. And again, you've got to take a chance. When you get that close, you have to take a chance. And I understand there's a lot of people that are going to say, oh, that's crazy, it's too much money, but you're going based on, and it's funny because on the one hand, people will say that I shouldn't base anything on Carey Price on last year because that's 1 year. Carey Price is 30 years old. Well, Max Pacioretty had 17 goals last year. It doesn't matter that he had 30 the years before that because we're looking at last year. It's so weird how that works. It's like, well, we only want you to look at last year when it matters for the right narrative, but when you want to look at last year for something else, and you're talking, yeah, no, just look at last year for certain players. So again, I think Pacioretty's going to be fine. I think going to Vegas is going to be a huge boon for the guy, and it's fun. Maybe they'll let him drive the Lambo to the games. I don't know. Does Marchessault want to give that up? Is that his lucky charm? Does England? Are they going to take? How's that going to work out? It is, and it is something too. And I'll say this: I've been accused of jumping on the Vegas bandwagon. Hey, I went to Vegas this year. I talked to a lot of Vegas fans. I have a lot of Vegas subscribers. A lot of people that I've talked to a lot. They're good people, and they're nice people, and I like hanging out with them. And I understand that every fan base will have that, but I have a direct connection with those fans. And I did sit down and talk to Carnell for about an hour when we were in Vegas, and that was fantastic. The anthem singer, and so there is a connection I have with Vegas, and I think that they're making the right decisions. Yes, losing Suzuki, yes, losing draft picks will hurt later, but this is a team that's clearly decided, okay, we've got a window here that we can actually do something this year, and I don't think they'll have a problem attracting talent to the city from here going forward. Players talk, and players are telling other players, here's how the city treats us, here's how we've bonded with the city, and it's kind of sort of awesome. It's the kind of thing that happens for certain organizations, and it's fun to see it happen with Vegas. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Again, it's 4 years, $7 million a year. Perfectly reasonable in my eyes. And it kicks in next summer. So let me know your thoughts as always. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. This should be the last Pacioretty video unless he gets traded again. Maybe he gets traded to Ottawa for Carlson. Who knows? We'll see. But hey, yeah, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.